should I say?
We'll say to everybody in mid-Michigan.
Okay, I'm putting you right after.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
This is Mike Doyle with Doris Day, saying hi to everybody in mid-Michigan.
Hello, everybody, and we're having a wonderful time.
Lip sync, lip sync, lip sync.
Okay.
Doris Day and myself introducing the Doris Day Convention of June 1987 at Carmel Valley, actually Carmel Valley, at our Carmel retreat, which was the Carmel Mission Inn. We had a wonderful time, the Doris Day collectors, myself, and the local people that went with us. We had a fabulous afternoon meeting Doris Day, and we're going to look at those convention highlights with you today on this program. Now, Doris Day was, of course, a great star in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, with her television career streaming right through the late 60s and early 70s. Now, what I found that was interesting at the convention was that Doris reflected a lot on the series that was on CBS from 68 until 72. She talked about the great comedy routines with John Driner and Peter Lawford and some of the other co-stars that were with her in the last few seasons of that program. That show was one of her favorites. It's now running on the CBN network in a series of reruns across the country. Now, the Doris Day Convention was brought together by all of us in the Doris Day grouping, and we're going to see a picture of Doris now, and this was a picture that we had taken at the convention. There we go, right behind me. Doris Day and myself in our special convention picture. Everyone at the convention had a picture taken, and Doris also did a promo for our Tempo show that you of course saw at the beginning of our program. And at the convention, not only did we talk about Doris Day's highlights, the highlights of her career, but we also talked about some of the people that she met when she was in show business. We're going to see some of her reactions. Not only did she work with the great stars like Gable and Rock Hudson and James Garner and Jack Lemmon and Jimmy Stewart and so many more, but she also worked with some of the great character actors. Jack Carson was a great character comedy actor. She also had the pleasure of working with people like Don DeFore, Mary Wicks. She had the wonderful co-stars such as Elliot Reed and wonderful, wonderful Thelma Ritter, and of course super co-star character actor Tony Randall in those three great Doris Day pictures, Pillow Talk, Lover Come Back, and Send Me No Flowers. Doris reflected about all of them. One of the fun things about the convention was that Doris wanted to talk about the Doris Day Pet Foundation. The Doris Day Pet Foundation is dear to her heart. She's established it to help all the animals in the country, to help them with spade and neutering clinics, to help information to all of you who have pets. Doris has a lot of pets, and we know that as we visited her at her home high atop in Carmel Valley overlooking that beautiful golf course, we could tell that she had plenty of animals, but she has plenty of help too. Well, we hope that you're going to enjoy our convention highlights today as we have edited them and put them in a special perspective for you. It was a real pleasure to be there in 1987. June of '87, we'll remember it well as the first Doris Day Convention. And by the way, we hope we'll have more, and we hope to come back to Carmel, California, and visit with Doris Day.
Here, and I have the, oh, aren't they pretty? Thanks. Yeah.
How are you, Dean?
Fine.
That's good.
Good to see you again.
Thanks.
Good.
I don't know anybody here.
We have Bruce Steele from St. Louis and Laura Lotsberg. Okay.
It's so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
It's so pretty.
I just finished feeding, I don't know how many dogs, how many cats.
What a great boy. Thank you, Dave.
Oh,
We
yeah.
talked about the balance show. You know that film? Did you? put that all on the email. Of course, we talked about John Barry.
It was May of that year at the Earl Theater in Philadelphia, and I was a kid about that day. She was a kid too, really.
Sure you
She
were.
was working with the Les Brown Band, and I have been in love with her ever since, and finally got to meet her in 1959. And I just keep falling more and more and more of this powerful. All this thing.
But it's really terrific to see you. And thank you for coming. And come about.
How about records?
Records. Well, our best friends, Animal Show. So all the songs that we did for the album, we were just using them in the show. So it worked out very well, but I didn't have enough for a complete album. And Terry, who works with me, was sort of, and I never have time, to really work at my craft. But one of these days, I'm a late bloomer. So probably all my work is yet to come. Wouldn't surprise me. I think maybe the Latin for Lovers is very close to being. And it's funny, I didn't want to do it. I didn't believe that I wasn't really going to read it. And really going to be on a boat. And I walked onto the set, and there is this big boat, and they're working these big, and moving the boat, like we're in the water. Oh, I was so disappointed, I couldn't stand it. Oh, dance numbers. Then you record the songs. Then they give you the playbacks. They call them playbacks, which is the recordings, the songs. And they bring those to the stage. Then you start working the number, the dance number, to the playback, to the song, so that you can learn to sing to the record and not make a mistake there, you see, because you have to lip sync. And so then you work that way for a while. And then in between all that, you have, costume fittings, and then you have one here at the Monterey SPCA. And we spayed and neutered 250 animals. First come, first served, no questions asked. But we did say, if you can afford it, to pay it yourself, we would appreciate your doing so, because there are so many people who can't. And so many people came and said, we came, but we thought about it, and we're going to pay for it. And let someone else come in, So it was just terrific. And we also paid for, taking the animals. So many animals were adopted.